Okay, just like a sports game. Olympic heads. Tails, that means you get to select if you're playing lead or chords first.
I'll do lead first.
Okay. So just start playing.
Okay.
You can set the key, you can set the tempo. That's what's kind of neat about this. Okay. Okay, there we fit into something. There you go. Yeah, build something. Okay, that's what you would have been, but the trouble is you played that perfect fourth too many times, so now my ears have already told me you switched keys. Yeah, so now you gotta stick to that. Okay. So now we're in a completely different key, and that's okay. It wasn't a mistake, which it was a mistake actually. So if you repeat the same thing multiple times, that means you're trying to tell me that you're switching keys. Oh, okay. But if you only do it once, then I just write it off as a mistake. That's okay, mistakes will be made. You can write it off as a chromatic note. So Mixolydian and Dorian are your friend because there's so many different options you can take. Oh, that'll work. In my notes. Okay. The melodic minor option if you're still in key. Yep. And then giving you the first chord that you switched us into, so Mixolydian flat 6. That's where you started us, right? And that told me, oh, okay, he wants to play melodic minor. So then I give you a 2 chord, which is Lydian dominant. And you don't have to respond to it as long as you stay in key. And then that would be your melodic minor sound. So obviously these, newer scale slots are more precarious, but good on you for taking the risk. Try changing the key from this chord. So you want to emphasize that as being the home, because that's how modes work, right? So instead of playing melodic minor, play Dorian, flat 2, play Aeolian, play Phrygian, anything that can go over a minor chord. That's how you change the key. Whatever you feel like. Okay. I'm going to give you the most Lydian sharp 2 progression that's possible, which is major, minor. Okay, good. Oh, almost. Sounds like, oh, I thought you changed the key, but that was just a little mistake. Okay, that's a key change. Good job. Oh, now it's back to going back to the original. That's okay.
I'll change the regular.
So that's the thing, if you play it multiple times, then I'm like, okay, I think he's trying to change the key. So even though we're in the same key, I'm changing the mode on you by the different progression, right? So earlier I was giving you a Dorian progression, popular 2-5. A lot of songs that are Dorian feel are 2-5. I mean, really, that's the time. I shouldn't be calling it 2. But then I was like, okay, we're going to sing the same key, but now I'm going to give you a mixed Lydian progression. Or maybe a Lydian progression, depending on how you feel about it. So, like. So in this moment, right here sounds like home, even though I'm giving you this chord, right? So now I've established this is home. So now I got all the pop progressions I could give you. But then that's kind of stale and boring. Right? So then I might do something like this. So my progression is telling you what we're playing now. So now I'm on the attack. Ionian, but you can really play anything and then I can adapt to you. That's why I'm hanging out here. If I wanted to make it obvious, I'd go, okay. And then eventually you would fall into Ionian without even thinking about it. But if I stall here, okay. Okay. So where are you going for mixed Lydian flat 6? What were you going
I was
for?
doing augmented Ionian.
So the thing is about augmented is that I have to respond, and I thought that's what you're going for. So then I have to hear that you're doing that and either pick a chord, but that'll lose that Lydian augmented sound. So then I would have to do that. So my bad. I thought you were going for mixed Lydian flat 6. Okay, so now we're what you wanted to do. Sorry I didn't respond to that. Now I gotta look. The unfortunate thing is that there's not a lot of progressions that can be done with an augmented jig. So you just have to kind of vamp on it for a little while. So then this would be the Aeolian version of whatever scale you're in. Should have been a melodic minor. Right? Because if you're playing this, then I switch to melodic minor. But if you just play harmonic minor, then that means, oh, okay, we're actually over here now. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually good, but if you're trying to stick to that flavor, because if you did, yeah, anyway. Oh, oops, that's my bad. What am I doing? That's me just trying to, I'm grasping for straws now. Yeah. Okay, good. Good round. Let's trade.
Okay.
I didn't put a timer on, so just kind of feeling it out. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay. Okay. Here is I have the option to make it sound one way or another. That's that special Dorian note. Now, if you gave me a major chord, that would have been an option for me to do that, which I still can do, but I wanted to, but. So I'm just playing Phrygian over what you're giving me. that means you're playing a 2 chord in harmonic minor. So the thing about, since we live in a diatonic world, diatonic progressions are like everywhere. So if we just did a Dorian, there's so many different choices, but when you start playing a progression from any of the harmonic minors, you fall into 2 gutters. And those 2 gutters are Phrygian dominant and harmonic minor. So right there so you have only if you're going to do a Phrygian sound, you got to take a page out of the flamenco book. But this is so powerful that harmonic minor should probably be called Phrygian dominant because of how much more signature it is. The other progression that you can typically play is the jazz 2-5-1, which is minor 7th, dominant 7th, then minor major 7th, or just regular minor. Those are the 2 other common ones. So minor 7-5-5, dominant, yep. And they call that a 2-5-1, a minor 2-5-1. I think about it as Locrian, Phrygian dominant, minor, or 7-3-6. It's the same thing, it's an L shape. So when I hear you click into harmonic minor, I kind of go, oh, okay, I don't really have 2 chord progressions that I know of, really. I'm either doing the Phrygian chord progression, something along those lines. And I'm trying to emphasize that this is home during that progression. The other version is trying to get you to hear that as being home. And if you keep playing that chord progression in that order, I won't really be able to leave it behind. But what you can do is then sit there for a while and give me a chance to change the key. So just vamp it. And then if I play something other than harmonic minor, I'm sorry. So right now I'm like, okay, you're giving me a chance. Maybe I'll do this instead. See how now it takes a whole different trajectory. So I gave you just a regular minor sound in that instance. I could have did Dorian sharp 4, which then still keeps us in harmonic minor but in a different key. So then you have to go, okay, do some sort of Dorian sharp 4 progression. The idea is emphasizing what's home at that moment. And then if you get bored as the accompanist, you're like, okay, I'm done with Dorian, so maybe let's do Phrygian instead. Phrygian dominant. And so you have to decide as the accompaniment is what the mode home is going to be. So even though I've changed the key, all those scales will work the whole time, so I don't have to think. But if you start getting like the feeling of it getting stale, then you change the mode, but not the key. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then you just change the progression, and there's not a lot of user-friendly progressions in harmonic minor, and even worse in melodic minor. So it's kind of one of those things that, although it exists, it's just really hard to make a progression out of it. So another option is just vamping. Like you can just sit there with a minor chord the whole time. And if you don't budge as an accompaniment, then I'm like, okay, well then I'll start playing around. So here's an example. Can you just play an E minor? So then if I go, okay, you're not changing on me, all right. And we've done experiments like this in the past. now we've set that, now we've selected the key because of the chord progression you gave me, and I can choose to complement Dorian, or I can just keep doing what I'm doing, and it will sound Dorian. So now we're in a key. Okay. So that I know we're in Phrygian dominant right now. Right? Yeah. So I just forced it into mixolydian, just regular diatonic. Now you're giving me a minor, so that means instead of that being mixolydian, that should have been Phrygian dominant. That's in the past. Now you're giving me a minor, and that establishes harmonic minor or melodic minor. And so I'm trying to make it really obvious, also visually, what I'm doing. So I landed on a root note, and I'm in trouble right now, so keep playing. I know I landed on a root note. I mean a quarto. So now I very conservatively brought it back to white belt technique. Now we're Aeolian. So if I'm drowning, I go back to getting back to an area that I know really well. But if, yeah, I just force it back into diatonic, and then I get myself back into like grooving well. And then once I start getting bored, then if my chords aren't giving me options, then I start, especially if I have a vamp, like if I have a vamp open, then I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna switch it. So that's kind of how this wrestling match works. Anyway, Noah, great work today. I'm busting a sweat just like last time, and it is a bit more humid though today. So there you go. The new mode family and scales is harmonic major, if you care to play around with that. But yeah,
okay.
Good work. See you next week.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.